Thank you for coming. Right. Yeah, it's a cold. Sunday afternoon. Actually, it turned out about 100 over invitations. Half of them are away. Right. And this morning I received another 30 saying more. Dog sick lah, cat sick lah. Then I say, oh my gosh. I think we had one book launch, right, where we had the same place, right, SK here, even I think this is the second use of this place, but different, very different setting. First time that we came, Karen, was a book launch, right, I've written the book, and launched the book. There were about 10, I think 12 speakers, so we had a lot of fun. I think that was all here and speaking. But today is a bit different. Today is a totally different topic, right? Something that somehow changed my life. I think those who went, like Norani will be speaking, Suma and David. I think the trip has changed theirs too. But I went to Lebanon for 3 months. Right? Something that I would imagine I would never do in my whole life. The first thing they asked the one that invites me, I said, is it safe or not? Lebanon, like macam like Syria, macam like Iran, in between time. I know they were 15-year war, but 200,000 dead, but fewer by religion. But we're not going to talk about that. But today's topic will be 100% humanitarian. So I went. It's supposed to be a 3-month trip, 3 weeks trip, sorry. But I saw the needs there, right? My heart was stirred. So I extended my flight to the end of November. So I told my daughter, she says, Daddy, are you serious now? 3 weeks not enough. You have to go 3 months. So she was worried for me. But before I go, I was a little bit worried. Right, the place that I stayed, right, sometimes I could hear gunshots in the middle of the night. So there was also car bombing, but not very near me, in another city. So I realized it's a trip that is not for the faint-hearted. And I also felt very heartened, right? To see that Singaporeans are there. I met over there with an NGO doing some of the stuff. She's there for 3 years. She was talking about experience. I also met Suma and David. Were there with me during the Suba and Sotila Survey massacre. You ask me what is Suba and Sotila, frankly, I got no clue. I actually have to read up. I really don't know much about the Palestinian cause. But when I read, I interacted with the people there, the refugees. And when I extended my stay, I actually have a more in-depth knowledge right, about the cause, the problems, about what we can do. Also must thank a lot of you who sent me there, right? Because I'm a poor man. Without the funds, I can't go. So someone paid for my air ticket, the air Etihad. So he forked out 1,003 to send me there. And subsequently, when we requested for funds, we collected 20 over 1,000. But not a big sum, but also not small, right, for one person. So when we help the refugees there, they're also very targeted. Right? We don't have much money, so we can only help here, help there. So I must say, they're not doing that bad, but I think we can do a bit more better. Right? Wow. About 50 or even. Thanks. The slides ready? So I don't want to take up too much of your time. Just including me. Right. The first one will be a dear lady, which I met in Lebanon. Right. She was with David, and we had some time together as the Singaporean contingent. I'm going to show you a video. It's done especially by MEPS. MEPS is a Syrian-based school that helps Syrian kids. So they have assisted 3,500 kids who seeking refuge in Lebanon. So they actually sent me all these paintings. They actually specially drawn for it. Right? And now they are live streamed. Right? So they can actually view this live right in Lebanon. So this is a video that you will want to check, thanks. Especially from Mecca right now to
وشوف كيف بتكون سوريا معمرة ومستقرة. شو رأيكم؟ جاهزين؟ في مجال رسم صراحة نحن غايتنا حتى نقدر نخلي هذا الطفل ينسى الماضي الكئيب والحزين اللي دربه خلفه بسوريا وينظر بتفاؤل بتطلع أكثر إيجابية في المستقبل.
Let's give a hand to the children. About 250,000 of Syrian kids do not have education right now in Lebanon. So I think there's a big thing out there. These schools have 7 container schools. They only reach out to 3,500 children. But it's an emotional trip. I think I see some of your eyes are red. But over there, sometime at night, I just cried. I can't cry in front of them, but I went home to cry. So if you are touched, let your emotion run wild. But so without further ado, we want to pass the time to Suba. Give her a hand, Suba.
Okay. I don't have a very fancy presentation, but I will show you some of the photos that I took, and I'll let you know some of the needs that I identified when I was there. So I put together some photos. This is the playground, the communal playground in Lebanon. So as you can see, it's very crowded. Okay, it's small, it's old. Okay, and then you compare it to what we have here. We even have water parks and stuff, but the children don't have much. Okay, but they're really happy. We'll go on to the next one. So, okay, the moment you enter refugee camps in Beirut, okay, there are a lot of children, and boys especially. There'll be in groups, and they all have toy guns. So it's a shock to us, when we first went in there, and we're like, okay, they all have guns, and I actually got my friends to give like toys and stuff to bring over, and I made sure that none of the gifts have like anything that represents violence, so guns and stuff out of the picture. But then when we went there, they were playing us with guns. Okay, and the thing is, we spoke to a lot of people, and they have lived amongst violence, and that's why they have this need to defend themselves and sort of be in that situation because that's what they're familiar with, and it's really sad because this is nothing like how our kids would have experienced. So it's quite shocking. It's got nothing to do with like how they represent violence or stuff like that. No, they feel this need to defend themselves, and kids being kids, they like guns and stuff. Next one. Okay, so this is exactly how it looks like in most refugee camps. This is taken in Shatila. Shatila and Sabra, they're pretty close by each other. As you can see, there's like a lot of live wires just hanging around there, and that is a cause for a lot of deaths. Okay, electric wires, they fall and people die. So the infrastructure, the community infrastructure there is really, really needed, and there's nothing much they can do about it because the Lebanese government they don't really put enough investments, to help these refugees. For them, it's like a burden. So that's another issue. And this basically they're called refugee camps, but honestly they're honestly like slums. They're just really crowded, and like 50 people in a family could be living in like a small unit, like a HDB unit, but 15 people. That's not fair. And basically their housing is like okay, they have to pay rent, and so basically the UN gives them like financial aid, but they have to pay, they still gotta pay rent. So a lot of their portion of that cash goes to housing rent and stuff like that, and the rest goes to like buying food and stuff. But some goes back to the Lebanese economy because most of the vendors that outside, they're local vendors. So it's like it goes back to the Lebanese economy, but some of them, right, like Sabra and Shatila, it's a closed community where like they goods from outside wherever they can, and the money goes to them and then back. So it's a very closed economy. So there's the money doesn't go out. They're not earning anything. So all they depend on is financial aid from the UN, right, for example. So okay, I'll just get on to the next one. So the thing is, there are 1.5 million refugees right now, and the numbers are growing. And the Lebanese population is 4.5 million. So that's a big portion. And the community infrastructure needs to be improved immediately, okay? Because they have to tackle spreading of diseases, for example. The sewage is not maintained, and the government doesn't really care, okay? Because for them it's like these refugees, these Palestinian refugees have been there for 60 odd years, and then we have a whole group of Syrian refugees coming in. So there's a bit of conflict of interest over there. And education-wise, okay, Palestinian refugees in general, they're not allowed in government schools. Okay, they attend schools within the refugee camps, and because of that, they don't really have motivation to go to school. Imagine, okay, if let's say the teacher says, okay, you study really hard and you can become a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever, but the teachers can't lie. So there is no motivation to study, and that's why a lot of them, they drop out of school. So like, I think the average age to drop out is like 14, 15, and a lot of them just start working when they're young. So 9, 10, you can see them like picking up rubbish, for example, in the camps, and we've seen that with our own eyes. 9 or 10, and then they're just, picking up rubbish, and in a way they earn money for their family, because it's that little money that counts, because they can sort of provide to the family because there's no other way out. So that's another issue, how to get the kids to stay in school, because the schools themselves need funds to keep going, And on university level, there are some like successful cases where UNRWA, okay, provides scholarships to outstanding refugee students, but that is like 10 out of a million, so it's really, really rare. I'll get on to why we need to give monetary funds. Most people would of course want to give aid in terms of commodities like blankets, winter wear, stuff like that. That is important. But logistically, it can be a real nightmare. so monetary funds would make a lot more sense. I'm just going to go a little bit on this. 70% of Syrian refugees, they don't have legal residences, okay? So they can't get work, they can't get shelter, they can't get education or healthcare. And that sort of leaves a lot of exploitation, okay? If there's someone who's out there and they're like, okay, you do an odd job, you know, and I'll pay you this amount of money. So most of them would do that for even if it's just like US $2, you know, and most of them would send their kids to work. And a lot of children, they're selling candy in the streets, you know, clearing rubbish, like selling like hardware in the refugee stalls itself. So that's another thing. And we've spoken to quite a lot of organizations like to help people, like children stay in school, and they all lead to one point that education is really important, and they need to invest in it to keep them in school. Okay, I'll go to this one. Okay, this photo is, we were actually at the remembrance site for what happened in 1982, the Sabra and Shatila massacres. So this one, I think I will skip it because David will explain a little bit more. I will talk about more on the needs. Okay, so a lot of refugee children, most of them are the Palestinian ones. Okay, they are born in the camps, so all their whole lives just revolve in the camp. You know, they have not been home yet, and imagine, like, you know, you're born here, and then your parents say, "This is not our house. Our house is across the country, but we can't go there." You know, that kind of mindset kind of sort of goes on them, and they don't actually feel a sense of belonging, obviously, in the refugee camps, and because of that, there's no, it leads to a lot of things like no motivation for education, for example. You know, they have no citizenship, and that's why they don't get in a lot of rights. You know, they don't get their passports. They probably only have like a refugee, UN refugee piece of paper that says that, you know, they're under this program, for example. There is no equal opportunity. We have spoken to so many refugees in Beirut, and a lot of them, they say that, you know, there's a lot of prejudice against them. Like there was once we actually took a cab from Beirut, from a hostel in Beirut, and we were going to go into Shatila camps. And the Lebanese were very prejudiced. Okay, they said, okay, we're going to Shatila, you know, and they're like, oh no, not Shatila. We're just gonna drop you outside of the camps. And they refuse to go in. So there's that kind of biasness that, and it's not going to help. You know, there are a lot of people who are lobbying for citizenship rights, for example, but they've got a long way to go. And a lot of them, they sort of they give up on that. They just want to go home, you know, because this is not their house. And yeah, I think I'm going on this point. Boys drop out of school at age 15. That is very true. A lot of them were just sort of sitting around, not doing anything. You know, some of them they do go out to Beirut and they do like service jobs, but they don't earn as much, and they're just waiting around basically. The girls, they marry as early as 18, some younger than that even, and they start their families very young. So one thing I noticed is that young women, okay, they run the families, they run the household. You know, there was this refugee lady that I was speaking to. She just asked me, and she was telling me that the women in the camps, they work like cows because they have to go get the water, they have to, you know, run the family, you know, sell goods, you know, to keep the money coming in, and send their kids to school. Some even work in embroidery centers, like you know, they sew embroidery pieces and stuff, and people buy them, tourists, they compare the diet, and then that is their means of a working day. So in that sense, when we went there, we sort of identified the organizations, reliable ones, where we can channel our funds to. Because I know a lot of you, even I was quite moved by some of the videos that I see on social media and stuff, and I don't know where to put my money in. So that's why David and I thought, okay, let's go in and see what we can do. So I think Gilbert as well, he sort of identified some organizations that are really, really helpful. Okay. So these are two examples. This is the National Institution for Social and Vocational Training, the Now Albarat Center. It's also a Now Albarat camp. It's mainly Palestinians who are in the camps. And a lot of volunteers actually go there from also, I think most of them are from Italy and Spain and stuff. The Singaporeans, they're us and Dr. Ang Sui Chai, and I'm sure you've heard about them. And a lot of orphanages, okay, that we've visited, and it's like, okay, they basically give a lot of educational resources and stuff like that, but they don't have a proper structure. They don't have teachers. Teachers come in and go, like Italian volunteers, for example, they come in, and then there is the challenge of teachers always rotating, and the accent just changes, and the children can't really grasp on certain language, like if they want to learn English, then it's going to confuse them. So there's that challenge. And then there are a lot of there's a lot of chairpersons who we spoke to from the organizations, and they said there's another challenge where people just they want to teach, for example, young people, they prefer teaching, for example, and they do like hard labor kind of stuff, like for example, building playgrounds or centers, These are things they sort of need, and they need building materials, funds for building materials, and things like that. So it would be good, if we are compelled to give, in that sense, it's going to help them eventually. Okay, I'm just going to talk about how humanitarian aid comes in the form of commodities, mostly, rice, blankets, building materials, clothing. But we're dealing with urban refugees here. Okay, back in 2004, 99% of the world's humanitarian aid is in the form of materials. But, for example, perishable items like food, it can be a huge logistic issue. It can be also very challenging for dividing, into camps, for example. Refugees, we noticed, overwhelmingly prefer cash grants compared to other types of assistance, largely because cash grants allow them to make decisions on their own. They're able to prioritize their needs. For example, if you give them rice, for example, they might already get that from UNHCR, for example, and they probably need other things as well. So the cash sort of gives them, it kind of eliminates dependence and sort of gives them that kind of empowerment in that sense. It can also improve relations between the Lebanese and refugee community, because essentially giving them money will pump money into the Lebanese economy if they're buying, for example, staple items from the Lebanese. It's gonna benefit the vendors, and then there's a bit of balance between them. Also, families are likely to send their kids to work, like I said. So incidentally, it reduces child labor as well if there is cash going in, in the form of donations, and there's no excuse for them to send the kids. Then again, there is the problem of people mismanaging the money, mismanaging the cash grants, for example. They could, prioritize cigarettes or things like that. That don't. It's not very It's not part of the needs. But most of them, overwhelmingly, the ones that we speak to, they prefer cash grants because it really helps them. And we were not, I think the organization that we speak to, they don't directly pass the cash funds to the refugee families themselves, but in terms of like organizations like building schools, things like that, it's going to go directly to them. There was one BAS organization that we spoke to, and he basically buys household items based on the funds that come in. So they go shopping within the camps themselves.